Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, December 14. Residents of West Kingston who suffered damage and losses as a result of the 2010 security operations are being urged to come forward to claim their compensation. Portfolio Minister Delroy Chuck says some 418 payments have been approved, which are to be deposited to bank accounts once the requisite documentation is completed. Close to 1,000 files were examined over 9 months by a 3-member compensation committee that was established by the government. Subsequently, Cabinet approved approximately $200 million to be paid out to aggrieved persons. Minister Chuck has instructed beneficiaries to visit the restorative justice centers in Tivoli Gardens and Denham Town to start the process. To date, 42 persons have provided the information necessary to process payments.
The funds are available, so no one needs to say when is the money going to come. Parliament in the supplementary budget last week, Wednesday, approved it. We hope that once we get all the information, which we hope will be by Monday, that we can make all the payments during 2017.
Additionally, Minister Chuck says $20 million will be made available to the Member of Parliament in order to restore buildings and other property damaged during the operation. The $200 million figure was put forward by the Compensation Committee, which was established to investigate all claims brought by aggrieved persons and to determine the compensation payable to injured persons and to the personal representatives of deceased persons. Mr. Chuck was addressing a press conference yesterday to provide an update on the status of the implementation of the Tivoli recommendations and the Compensation Committee. Sport Minister Olivia Grange accepted a donation of outdoor gym equipment valued at US $5,000 from China Harbor Engineering Company Czech at the Emancipation Park yesterday. Minister Grange says the donation supports the ministry's goal for a more active and healthier society as outlined in the sports policy.
The national sports policy is geared towards fostering greater participation in sport, promoting intellectual and physical health, enhancing social and economic well-being, and creating a healthier and more productive labor force.
The gift comes on the heels of the Ministry of Health's initiative Jamaica Moves, a response to the urgent need for Jamaicans to get the required amount of physical activity and nutrition needed to maintain a healthy lifestyle and prevent non-communicable diseases.
This gift will go a far way in our efforts to build a culture of physical activeness. In Jamaica, we have an old saying, one hand can't clap and many hands make the work light. I hope you understood what I just said. It means that we all need help, and when we work together, we achieve more.
The equipment are to be installed at Emancipation Park. The Agriculture Ministry has implemented drastic measures to combat the frosty pod rot disease, which is a major threat to the cocoa industry. Agriculture Minister Carl Samuda made the announcement yesterday at a media briefing, noting that the frosty pod rot disease has affected all parishes with the exception of St. Thomas. A ban has subsequently been imposed on the transportation and distribution of cocoa across the island. Persons caught carrying out these illegal acts will be fined.
The public is not allowed to move or dispatch from or move into any area of Jamaica any cocoa pods, plants, seedlings, cuttings, plant produce, products, plant-related material, or related articles. So in other words, you can't move across borders and go into a cocoa field. It's against the law.
The minister also said after works have been completed in the clearing of fields in St. Catherine, St. Mary and Clarendon to eradicate the disease, the cocoa industry in the parishes will be suspended for a 3 to 5 year period. Still on agriculture, there should be no shortage of vegetables for the Christmas season. Agriculture Minister Carl Samuda says measures were implemented to avoid a shortage amidst concerns on the impact of the recent rains which have been affecting the production of vegetables. Among the measures, certain crops will be imported such as carrots, sweet peppers, lettuce and tomatoes.
I want to add one caveat to that. It is based on the demand. We don't run shop. We don't have any grocery store, we don't have any supermarkets. So we are here to facilitate the trade. And so unless we are made aware of the demands of the trade, there's precious little we can do, and we're not about to import large quantities of these items and store them.
Minister Samuda also said that his ministry will be monitoring sales to ensure that there is no price gouging throughout the season. And finally, more than 3,400 residents in St. Elizabeth now have access to water. This because the Trenell water supply system in Magotty has been commissioned into service. The beneficiary communities are Trenell, Retirement, Hominy Hall, Bethsalem, and Maroon Town. The project was funded at a cost of $24.8 million by the Caribbean Development Bank, the Basic Needs Trust Fund, and Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JSIF. The funding was used to construct a chain-link perimeter fence, rehabilitated 80,000-gallon tank and catchment area, along with the installation of a sand filter and chlorination system. Minister without portfolio in the Agriculture Ministry, J.C. Hutchinson, lauded the project's partners and stated that efforts will be made to extend the water supply to other areas of St. Elizabeth.
In this area, as been said, water is life. And I helped out with some pipes, bringing it down to some area here in Trenell. And I want to see if we can continue to see if we can extend the pipes.
Managing Director of JSIF, Omar Sweeney, says the government is committed to the continued development of the quality of life of every Jamaican.
Having the water enables now better, more productive activities by women and children, especially in the households. And so this is the type of upliftment that we want to see with this type of investment.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.